What's going on, y'all? Another week, another geek. We're back at it again with another episode of the Why I'm Geek show with your homies AJ and Chrissy Light. This is episode 153. And today, we're going to be talking about none other than Joker, Folie, I Do.
Ooh.
Stop playing with me. Come on, tell him. It's like, no, let's stop. Oh, but I'm super excited to get into this, bro. Just because this is a much anticipated movie, project, whatever you want to call it, of the year. Had to circle on our calendars, and it is finally here. But before we get into that, Chris, how you feeling today, Brody?
I'm excited for this pod, man. I feel like a lot of juices, a lot of energy is gonna be ready for this pod.
Yeah.
And, we're just getting in the newest season, so I'm glad to be back at the movie theaters, man.
Yeah.
I think you've been in the movies more than I have recently.
No.
So, no.
It's spooky season, bro. What I got to go to the movies for?
Yeah, we got some good spooky movies to talk about later too. But
yeah.
I'm doing good, man. I'm excited for this pod. That's like the main thing. How you doing, G?
I'm geeked, man. I've been waiting to talk about this since I saw it, bro.
Mm-hmm. We almost met up for this one too.
Yeah. Schedules didn't align, but it is what it is, brother. It is what it is.
Yep.
We get to talk about it now, because I feel like if we had saw it, we probably would have already started talking about it.
Like, 100%.
Like, the pod probably would have already happened. It's like, no, let me stop. But where do you want to start, bro? Where do you want to start with this? This is a lot. Like, we could talk freaking. You want to talk about the movie theater experience or what? Like,
you know what? How about this? Let's just start with because a lot of this is gonna be on the new Joker movie. What did you think when you first saw Joker, the first one?
My expectations were pretty low, just because of the state of DC.
And you did see it in theaters.
I did.
Okay.
And I didn't really know Joaquin Phoenix like that, so it was just like the draw was that the fact that it's a Joker movie, and that was pretty much it. I came out of the theater blown away, just because it felt like the first movie was like, I don't want to say it like a TV show, but it was like perfectly paced to where when it hit, it was like violent, it was fast, it was like, it really hit you in the face, and I was just thrown through a loop. When the I don't know if you want to call it psychosis or whatever, but when the Zazie Beetz flip happened, that's when I was like, oh nah, this joint is going crazy, and it was like just a different interpretation of Joker, to where I never really felt like it was in congruent with like the main universe, but it was just something more akin to like, A Really Bad Day, which is like one of the comics. I might have butchered the name, but essentially just seeing the birth of what Joker could have been. It could have been anybody, but it was, in this instance, Arthur Fleck, So like that's kind of like where it starts for me. But yeah. So what about you?
I heard like rumblings that it was pretty solid. I originally wasn't gonna go see it. But then in the movie theaters, it was really slow at first.
Yeah.
And I was kind of waiting to figure out like what were everyone talking about. Like it's pretty good. And like you said, towards the end it really picks up to almost like a hurricane, man. And it was like, yo, this is crazy. And I guess this is how like villain origin stories are like, like you're kind of like, okay, I know the end goal. I've already seen the end goal a million times. Like, how is this dude supposed to be this like mega Batman villain. You know, like
Yeah.
it ain't no small villain. Like
Right.
we're talking about the villain.
Mm-hmm.
And that first movie went from like the slowest beginnings and like, yo, this dude is not funny.
Yeah.
This dude's weird to like, yo, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And I remember walking out that there like, I don't know what I watched, but I definitely watched something.
Yeah. And that was a minute ago too, bro. It was 2019.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And even when I go back to watch that movie, I definitely appreciate how much everything felt like an identity shift of how you go from literally like a person to
Yeah.
the Joker. You know, like
Right.
there has to be something in between there, and I kind of understood the movie and what they were trying to go to get to
Mm-hmm.
the Joker and its overall meaning. So I
Yeah.
walked out that there pretty shook, and then at least felt like, oh yeah, I watched something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, good times, man.
Yeah. But how did you walk out of the theater this time? That's what I want to know.
Man, I walked out this theater. I ultimately, this is gonna be a weird one for me.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, I walked out feeling extremely disappointed.
Mm.
I wasn't upset at them. I
Yeah.
wasn't mad, and you know some movies that I think are really bad. Just so you
Yeah.
know, I think the movie's bad.
Right.
I will be upset.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, I walked out so disappointed because I felt like even with all the knowledge, all the stuff that we heard ahead of time, there is still a Joker movie that would have made sense.
Yeah.
And I walked out the theater thinking, that ain't it. Like,
Yeah.
that ain't it.
Right.
And I'm so disappointed that we went from one Joker movie
Mm-hmm.
to this one that felt like you made so many wrong turns
Mm-hmm.
where I really thought, you know what, no matter how bad people are rumbling about it, it's probably at least like a 6, you know? Like
Oh.
it's not as good as
Hey.
the first one, but like it's bad. No, I really just walked out disappointed. Like I actually wasted my time at the movie.
Mm.
And I did it to a movie that I was pretty excited for this year.
Yeah. Yeah. Crazy work. It's
But
crazy
we'll
work.
get into the major details on that. How did you
Mm-hmm.
feel walking out of the movies on this one?
Right. You know me, bro. I'll be geeked. I'll be geeked coming out
Geek,
the movies. Yes.
geek.
I be coming out on a high for some reason, bro. I don't know what it is, but it's just like I be locked in, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So even before the movie started, right? Or not before the movie started, but even before it came out, once it was announced, right? Saw the trailer, all that, and I found out that it was a musical.
Yep.
All excitement was gone. You know what I'm saying?
Not a
And
musical guy, huh?
I'm not. I'm not,
I'm a
you
big
know?
time musical guy. Big time. Love him.
Like I don't it doesn't hit for me a lot of times. And unless your name is Hallie. But I was not excited initially, but like once it got closer and closer, I'm like, bro, there's no way this is going to be a bad movie, bro. You know, so like initial skepticism, but going into it, I was like, bro, come on, bro, it can't be that bad. Like, what are we talking about here? You know, so I knew the movie was bad, but I didn't know it was gonna be like this, bro. Like, if you ask me, Joker 2 was a better musical than it was a movie, bro. Like, I'd rather just get the soundtrack and the music videos and call it a day. Because
Dang.
everything else that happened, bro, was like, bro, did y'all watch the first movie? Like, I don't know what it was about like their approach to this movie that just it seemed like they lost the plot. Like they lost the Joker. They lost the moment that flip happened, that small portion of the first movie into creating something completely different. You know, it's like they're almost not even the same characters. Yes, it's the same people that's in the movie, but it was just like, oh man, like these songs going crazy, but what are we doing? Like, why they like it was like they was almost, stepping over their own points like throughout the movie. And I knew it was bad when Youngin started walking out, bro.
Oh no.
I had a walkout experience where Youngest was like leaving halfway through the movie. I was like, dang, bro. I didn't think it was that bad, but you know, I think really that really sums it up as far as like initial reaction, that it was just like a better overall musical than it was a movie in general, bro. And it was missing like that oomph, that like punch that the first movie had. And I think a lot of it has to do with just the choices that they made with the characters, bro. Specifically, obviously Arthur Fleck and Lee Quinzel, bro. So with that being said, bro, do you want to just go in on? You want to just start with some character stuff, or you want to talk story, or like where do we want to go with this, bro? Because this.
Well, I just want to touch on one thing before we go anywhere with this, because to be honest, there's not much to go on for this one. I personally think that the musical portion of this movie is complete garbage.
Oh my goodness, you wasn't jamming?
I deep down, when I think musicals, normally there's like a hit song or a catchy song that really gets you in the rhythm of what's going on. And something as simple as Disney movies, and most of Disney stuff is like musicals. It's like like Just Can't Wait till to Be King, stuff like that, or like there are songs that are trying to explain the feelings or what's going on, or my new mission, or my new passion, my new drive. And normally in musicals they have these things, these songs, and they're always in good parts of the movie. And most of the time it's like, maybe I don't like this song. Oh, that one's banging. In this movie, I just feel like they had songs just to do songs. They wanted to sing just to sing, and it didn't convey anything or help the movie at all.
That part right there.
So what's really weird was when we first heard it was a musical.
Yeah.
Like you said, a lot of people were like, why?
Yeah.
And then you see the movie, and I left wondering why. Like, there is no point in the movie at all that a musical number or any type of song that they sing genuinely helps the movie.
Yeah.
And part of it, I was wondering, like, in Joker, the first one, he was hallucinating sometimes, and you didn't really know what was real and what's reality, reality or not. And in this one, it started feeling like, oh yeah, we're doing the same thing, but with musical. Okay, I get it. Like, that's creative. But as you keep watching the movie, I'm like, bro, they are singing for no reason. And then at the end of the movie, there's a scene where the Joker's like, stop singing.
Yeah.
Just talk to me. Like, bro.
Yeah.
Why a musical?
Yeah. Bro really went from...
It's just so obvious it did not need to happen. And then as soon as you take out every musical number, there is no way you can tell me the story was good enough.
It's no story, bro. There's no story.
Yeah. There's
just
none.
Going back and forth from trial. Like, that's it.
Yes, and as we deep down to like what could be a better one of this, but like that's really probably what I want to talk about. But the no story aspect, and something you touched on in the first opening statements.
Yeah.
They totally just forgot where the Joker left off. It was a major flip about him embracing this persona, this anger, this Joker, this entity, this energy.
Yeah.
And that was the third and final act, where he stopped being Arthur and started being the Joker.
Facts.
And then we start this movie. I don't even want to call it a movie because I don't know what the point of it
Yeah,
was.
that's what I'm saying.
They wanted to tear down the Joker that
they
was
wanted
pretty much established.
Yeah, they wanted to establish a baseline for like Arthur Fleck, not the Joker. Like they like
and I
if,
have no problem if they named it like Arthur. You know, like we're going from this is how we go from Arthur to becoming the Joker, and then the Joker becoming Arthur, like getting turned back, something like that. That is definitely not the plot of the movie. There is something seriously wrong with the direction that they had with this one, and I walked out being conflicted with my final score that I'm keeping secret, wondering did the director actually know what he was doing? Because there's just too much stuff that lines up with he clearly wanted it to be like this on purpose. And I feel like there is a overall meaning there compared to bad movies I've seen where I just said, yo, they're just stupid. They're just throwing money at the wall. They just didn't know what to do. They just said, we got to go from point A to point B. The main problem with this movie is the story is cheeks.
Yeah.
There is no need for a musical.
Yep.
And you just ruined the Joker. You ruined the when you watch this movie.
It's tragic, bro.
Yeah, when you watch this movie, the first movie essentially becomes obsolete. Like you cannot enjoy the first movie as much knowing that this one exists because it completely changes the identity of the first one, the character, the meaning behind the first one.
Yeah, and it takes away that power, it takes away the agency of the choice that he made
in the first one. Yeah.
And I think like I was saying, like I don't understand why. Like I get if the plot is the interviews and stuff that he does like in the beginning, right? If it's to establish a difference between Arthur Fleck and the Joker as a part of your defense, I think that is perfectly fine. But when you do that and Arthur is not doing any Joker-like things, like we walk into the scene with a broken man. Like it's been like what I feel like it was 3 years or something like that. Something.
Yeah, I thought they said 3 years.
Yeah, it's been 3 years that he's been spent in Arkham, and he's finally getting his day in court. And like, if you know anything about Joker, Batman, whatever, you know that most of the time, anytime Joker goes to Arkham, he either escapes or he's running a joint. You know, so like I had the expectation of that. At some point, he's going to escape. At some point, he's going to be, running the town. But really, like, it came to the point where it was all like, it was just not necessary for us to stay there that long. Like, if the point of it was to show, like, okay, is he human or is he not? Show that he's not. That's what I want to see. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to see him, like, having to get his persona back because it's not a persona. It wasn't supposed to be a persona, for one. And then two, is like you add in Harley or Lee in this case to kind of just jumpstart him and reignite his fire before he goes out to the real world again and gets to see, the cult like following he created and like gets reinvigorated by that. But like once he gets into the mix, it's like almost like all that stuff didn't exist anymore. And he's just worrying about like, all right, when's the next time I'm going to get to see Harley? Or like, why isn't this person here? Or like, it's just, they lost Joker, bro. They really lost him from a character. Harley too. I mean, I think they just made a bad choice with Harley as far as her backstory.
Barely does anything in this thing, to be honest.
Yeah. Like she's just out there to basically, like I said, like keep they like as soon as he gets like when you think that Joker's about to really like tap in, once he start pulling that sig and he start going crazy, you think, all right, now finally the movie's finna start. But then, eventually he just loses all his spark, and then got to bring Harley back in to reignite him again. It's like
But like I just feel
whispering
like,
sweet
especially
nothings
with
to him and all this
the
other stuff.
trailers and Harley Quinn being such a major character,
Yeah.
it does not feel like she plays a major role in this movie at all. And it's like her major role, it's just like, hey, I'm gonna come sing. I'm gonna come sing. And I feel like if they want her to be the one that's really manipulating the Joker to be back into being Joker mode, it was not that much.
Yeah.
Like at the most, it's just like I love Harley. She gets me.
Yeah.
Like that's it.
Yeah.
That's like the base paper thin storyline plot for Harley Quinn.
I was on board.
Lee, because technically we can't say this is Harley Quinn either.
Right. I was on board with this whole movie until the fire. Once the fire happened, and
that's early.
Yeah. Once the fire happened and they didn't escape, and it turned from like it being like the musical part really started happening, and you really taking into account like, all right, like because before then, like a lot of the hallucinations and stuff was like kind of fluid, right? But after that point, they start getting like more harsh and harsher cuts of reality.
Just straight up cuts of reality, and it's like a scene, and it's like on a stage,
different movie almost at some point.
Yeah.
And my main issue with it is that none of these things have any I don't want to just say real life, but like real repercussions for the actions that they took. Like Harley just gets out of Arkham, scot free. Nobody knows that it was her. Like, and then she can move about the prison and stuff like that whenever she wants. She can get to wherever she wants. She can go steal the TV, do all this other stuff. Like nothing has. I get it's Gotham. But like you're saying, if she's only here to sing, then it's got to be an epic song. Then
it just like the singing and stuff doesn't contribute to the actual story. It's not like every time they sing it's a hallucination, or they're singing and it's kind of like, oh, I'm romanticizing this thing. It's kind of like they're just singing a song. We're just gonna sing this song real quick,
like a song they heard on the movie nights that they watched. Like
just a random song they done heard, and I'm like, bro, this is not help push our story through. This does not help me understand why the Joker's obsessed with this person, or this does not. Like, they had a scene, a song where the Joker did Jokerish stuff in the courtroom. Probably one of the better courtroom things. But it's kind of like, that was clearly fake.
Yeah.
But, like, it looked cool, but the contributions to what actually happened did not help. You know what I mean? Like, it did not.
That's my whole point.
And I'm wondering, like, director,
why make that choice?
Why even have it? Like, why even have the scene at all? Is it just to look cool?
That's my main thing. Like, I think that, like, the reason why I left just Geeked was because it was more of an artistic take on the character.
Yes, it's an artsy movie that you dissect and you look at. But when you think story-wise and enjoyment,
like when you use that side of your brain, it's not good. So that's the main reason why when I left, I was feeling good, was because like my artsy brain. Cause I'm artistic. I'm a creative type of person. So like the atmosphere that they was able to create with not only the music but like how they shot the movie, and it just looked great, right? But once I really started thinking about like what the heck even just happened, bro.
Yeah,
it's disconnected.
Scene by scene, you can do that. It's so disconnected, so muddy, mucky. I don't know what the word is. And for some reason, I have this feeling like the director did curate it this way.
Yeah.
And we're gonna talk ultimately about like what the meaning of the movie is, but I think when everyone sees it and they rate it so low, they're just going with as a normal, I don't know nothing. I walked in to go see some Joker, Folie, I do.
And I didn't get it.
This is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I think any normal person could have that take.
Yeah.
And it be justified.
Yeah.
Because you would expect a more cohesive, consistent story and then walk out like, well, you know, it was at least kind of entertaining here. It was a little boring here, you know.
Yeah.
Like the first Joker movie. Some people did not like that. It's really
just like how low do you really want to go? You know what I'm saying?
On purpose.
Yeah. And it's like
musical, boring, all pretty much a waste of time, bro, too, if you saw the first Joker movie.
It's like the things that they were pulling on for the hallucinations were not true to the character in the sense of the character from the first Joker movie. Arthur literally went from wanting to be a stand-up comedian and performing to, you know, trying to become Frank Sinatra all of a sudden. Like, there's no, like, in the first movie, there was no real reason, like, musicality portions except the dance on the stairs. Like, that was really it. So to that be the thing that you lean in on, like, to me, the artistic part of, like, them folding the music into the different scenes, whether it was Harley or whether it was Lee or Arthur, or when it was both of them, was cool. But it was the like psychosis aspect to it that, like, it was literally just them two and their world, and we were living in it. So the fact that, like, usually in a musical there's portions where it's just like the main person singing, and then a portion where, like, there's two people singing, and then there's, like, usually like a group and everybody just start dancing and all this other stuff. I actually appreciate the fact that it was really just them two that was existing in this random fantasy, you know, because it explains the title of the movie. Like, if you look up the definition of Folie à Deux, that's basically what it is, when you have a shared fantasy, essentially.
Yeah.
So, like, I can see in the pitch for the movie it being like, yeah, like, this is what we want to do. But once you get into the nitty gritty of the actual story, the only thing that happened is that we get to see Joker do a couple of interviews, and he goes and has his trial, and that's it.
Pretends to be plays Joker role one time.
Yeah.
Realizes that he actually traumatized the one person he let survive or whatever. Prison guards pretty much beat him up, and
Zazie Beet's character survived too, but
yeah. And then he stops being the Joker.
Yeah. It's like the people, it's like everybody else knew what the Joker meant except Arthur. Like, he was the only one that was confused for real. Like, he couldn't figure out, like, all right, how do I be this person? I need your help. Like, I'm just like, he
doesn't want to be that person. That's the thing. That's ultimately what this whole movie's about.
That's the issue. Is because,
and it's like, why would we even go down this route? Why would we even why would we think this is a good storyline, or what was wrong? Because when you go down the route of this, Arthur doesn't even want to be this persona, or doesn't want to be the Joker, or, you know, whatever you want to call, realizes he is a good person, or he's a messed up, mentally ill person, which kind of hit hard when he learned about what his mom said about him, what the judge said, what
Harvey
the
Dent.
doctor said. Yeah, everyone said. It's kind of almost as if he realized, oh my God, I am a bad person, or I am messed up in the head. You know what? I do just want to die. I do just want to not be the Joker. And it's like, that contradicts the first movie, the character that he evolved into, like you said.
Exactly.
You can't go from that character to this dude, or pretty much back, because now I'm left wondering what was the point of this.
Yeah, I wish I could have counted how many times, like, he'll go from just feeling super confident, and then get brought back down to reality. Feeling super confident, get brought down to reality. Like, I think the power dynamics in this show, or not this show, but this movie, was pretty interesting as far as like the seeing Arthur navigate through it, because I can't even call him Joker anymore. He's Arthur, bro.
Essentially, he's always been Arthur.
Yeah, he's never been the Joker for real. And seeing the dynamic between him and his lawyer, that's like almost mothering him in a sense. Seeing the dynamic between him and the judge, seeing the dynamic between him and Harley, seeing the dynamic between him and the guards. Like, there's all these different levels, but like it, and just even see when he flips those moments on him, like, it's like he cares too much about what other people think, when in reality he should only care about what one other person thinks. That one person in this movie was Harley, but it really should have been somebody like, I don't know, Batman. Because Batman is the reason the Joker exists, bro.
We don't even know if Batman exists right now, though.
I know, but I'm saying, like, in general, Joker has always been a response. He's always been like a reaction to,
Yeah,
like,
but
Batman has always
the
come
conundrum
first.
of this movie.
Batman has always come first, right? So in this movie, this is what my brain had went with it. It's essentially they replace Batman with the system or Gotham, because if you really think about it, everybody that Arthur really had a problem with is either already dead or not in the picture no more, because he already killed him. He only knew, like, I mean, he didn't know a lot of people in general. So, like, who can he really be mad at in this movie if you're going to go the route of trying to humanize him and make him into this troubled person or whatever like that? Like, he has no backbone to stand on if he has no North Star. You know what I'm saying? Like, in most of the things we see Joker in, it's more like his North Star is Batman, and getting in that relationship of their back and forth. That's the thing that he craves. That's the thing he desires. But in this, he doesn't have that. He doesn't have that North Star to say, like, all right, this is like, Batman got me this time, so now I'm gonna go and do this. Like, he has no plan. If he was to even get out, he has no plan. He has no, like, people like they established the idea of what Joker is perfectly for the people surrounding him, but that did not apply to Arthur.
Yes, I think you're 100% right.
So it doesn't lend to, like, the story, because the story doesn't go anywhere. But also, like, it's like they I almost want to say domesticated, but like they toned him down.
So I want to get into, like, spoilery section too.
Yeah.
But I don't want to miss out what you're saying. You're right. There is this meaning of they tone Arthur down on purpose, but what he means and what he represents lives on forever in this universe.
Mm-hmm.
But what Arthur was really angry at, and the passion he brought, which essentially is the Joker energy, Arthur had no use for that anymore after the first movie.
Exactly.
And we see that in this movie, which Arthur realizes, like, I am a messed up person. You know what I mean? Which the world and society, who felt Arthur's rage and energy, could not accept. They need you to be the Joker. And Arthur's like, I can't step up to be this Joker. I don't have this rage against something. I already done did it.
He just wanted to be seen. That's it.
but no one cares about Arthur the person.
Yeah.
Just like in the first movie, no one ever cared about how the Joker got there. Only anyone cares about is that the Joker's here now, and we want to rage with the machine with him. We don't care who it is. No one cares who I was till I put on the mask. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
put on the
all those
makeup.
sayings. And then even in this one, it's the exact same thing. It's like that very beginning first scene in this movie where they had the Shadow being the Joker and Arthur like walking.
Yeah.
When the Shadow is the star of the show. The Shadow is getting all the love, but when the Popo come, guess who's getting hit?
Yeah.
Arthur is.
Yep.
And it's like, I don't want to be this anymore. But everyone only wants the Joker.
Yeah.
And like you're saying, with no Batman, essentially, if Batman doesn't exist at all, there is always this feeling of like, what am I going up against? What are we raging against? And Batman could be always seen as the opposite of the Joker, or this dude's a vigilante fighting for justice, blah blah blah. When they're not helping us, Gotham is some trash. You know what I mean?
Right.
So there's always this guy who's not the good guy, but on the good guy's team. So I'm going against him.
Yeah.
And in this movie, we just pretty much see this series. We pretty much see how that energy, how that anarchy is created, and then pretty much splintered off into the universe of Gotham.
Joker has always wanted to.
We gotta go into spoilers to talk more about this thing.
Yeah, Joker has always wanted to show Batman that, like, yo, you really just like me for real.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. And he wants to show, like,
I am society.
I'm society. Yeah. Society is horrible. It beats you down. It forces you, kicks you down. It's only good to these other people. And Batman's like, no, they're still good. They're still good people. Like, no.
Like, I was expecting Joker to come into this junk, like, just going on these monologues and, you know, have a whole bunch of moments where he's just like out here just grandstanding, just talking his talk, right? But it was just no swag. It was no nothing. And
yeah, it just felt like they could have wrote it watching the downfall better.
Yeah.
And instead it just feels disjointed. He goes to be a Joker for just one little scene. One in his mind, one in reality.
Yeah.
And then that's it. Yeah. And it's like, when you have this type of movie, to have less Joker is stupid. Because the first one was the one where we had the least amount of Joker already. Like,
right. And the fact that it's like, all right, like, the courtroom is probably the worst place to put the Joker in, right? Because he already said, the judge had already said, he was like, yo, I don't want basically none of this tomfoolery that you got going on. Like, you're going to respect the court of law, right? Yeah. So he's like, you know, all right, I'll do that. But it's like, yo, you're the Joker. You know what I'm saying? So he still had his jokes and whatever you want to call it.
I think
but
that's
it was like
the problem with
not
it.
even
like
jokes. It wasn't even jokes. It was more so like his puns are just like low hanging fruit, essentially.
But we've seen Arthur in like the first movie where he's not funny. He's not charismatic. Yeah.
He's not smart.
Not smart. And it just feels like I feel two ways. Like, you could have either had him stay in Arkham the whole time, acting all crazy, him and Harley fall in love in Arkham type movie.
Let's get there. Let's talk about that.
Or they could have just had the courtroom sessions where you have a movie where the Joker's on trial, and we go from him flipping flopping from being the Joker, being Arthur, being the Joker, being Arthur, because that was their whole freaking defense.
Yeah.
Like, their defense was the Joker is another one person who's crazy, and you're Arthur, who's just a product of society. And I'm like, that's a better movie right there. Just flip flop, show how Arthur sucks, show how the Joker is crazy, acting a fool in court, so they can understand what what they're saying. These are two different people in the same body, split. And then at the end, make an ultimate decision where Arthur decides, I'm either going to be the Joker or I'm not. And even if he says I'm not, and the same scene goes down, that's fine. But the problem with this thing is the director I think he purposely canned it. I think he purposely canned this dumb movie.
Oh my gosh, it's a conspiracy. That's crazy.
Because there's too many nuggets that just make sense.
It's
And
this.
I'm like,
it's like they was trying to be different just for the sake of being different.
To be artsy, like you're saying, to
Yeah.
be this. I want to make a sequel to a movie that's not a musical, but call it a musical, then not do hit numbers,
Yeah.
but then also I think a courtroom Joker would have been cool, but I want Arkham a movie inside Arkham because we never had that. You know what I mean? Like we always see Arkham outside or something like that.
Unless you're
And you
watching
didn't get to
TV
see cool
shows.
stuff in Arkham, you know?
Yeah.
We didn't see him run Arkham. We didn't see him do nothing really
That's
in
that.
there.
Yeah, that's the part
So,
for me where I thought like once he came back that first time, everything was going to change. Like once he
yes.
stepped into the role, like, all right, now I'm defending myself. Everybody was cheering for him. He doing his little
Yeah,
flowy
and it's
thing.
just
I'm
like
like, oh, he
we
finna
can
tap
go
in.
crazier with this every aspect.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but Arthur's just like, oh, wow, nice, it's nice.
I'm
And
finally
I'm
getting
like,
the
yo,
applause I wanted. Like, bro, okay. So are we at the portion where you want to just talk about what we think should happen? Because I have one
yeah,
thing
bro.
that I want
Yeah,
to
bro.
talk
Because so
about.
that way we could talk about like the spoiler stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Because
So
I don't think people are gonna go see this movie. I think after this week
not
it's over.
after the way Youngins is going crazy, bro. They're gonna wait. They're gonna wait for streaming. So, I think the movie really comes down to their approach to the characters. You know, like the story is bad. I get it, but there's not enough story for me to say like other than like just redo the whole thing. You know, like there's no real saving it because nothing really happens. So
Nothing really happened. Yeah.
I want to focus on the characters for a little bit. So I think as far as Arthur, we already kind of explained what we think they could have did better with him. Like just be more Joker like in your portrayals, because I really thought like we was about to see the performance of a lifetime, bro. Like of the likes of like Heath Ledger. Like they was before this movie came out, the talk was happening. You know what I'm saying? And I think Harley or Lee Quinzel should have not been a patient. They should have stuck to the original storyline of her being a psychologist that treats Joker in Arkham. If they wanted to, you know, not necessarily going forward in time 3 years and start as soon as he gets there, and then we get to see her descent into madness over the 3 years, and it ends with either her breaking him out of prison or her, you know, breaking him out of court, is a way better movie than her just, you know, raging out at random people, singing her butt off, and, you know,
Yeah, to be
whispering
honest.
sweet nothings to him.
And it's not that hard to think of, G. You know what I mean?
It's not, because we done seen it before, but
you add just the romance craziness. How does Harley actually fall in love with the Joker? And then you just do a courtroom scene,
right,
the likes where it's like, oh my God, he's actually gonna go to get murdered or sentenced to death. You know?
Yeah, and that's could be part of where the singing comes in, right? Because that could be part of the therapy or whatever you want to call it.
Sure.
Like
there is some artsiness where I can kind of understand it. But when you see the movie,
yeah,
it kind of just goes away because you're just like,
yeah,
you know, why? Like
that's
this
why.
didn't help.
Yeah, that's why I said like if they just cut all the musical portions of the movie into just like music videos or whatever, I'd be perfectly fine with that, because it's like the music to me, I like it because like it starts off real raspy because it's like they in real life, so like they you know the performance is not really there. But once they get into it, I was like, nah, this joint sound kind of good. I was like, I ain't never listened to Lady Gaga before, but hey,
I can't remember one song, bro. I can't remember one song.
I can't either, but they was singing though. They was singing. So yeah. So like the whole portion of the movie where we're getting to see Harley move throughout the city and show up to court and go back to her apartment and all this other stuff, like, and the lawyer saying like, yo, like, she's playing you. She's not who she says she is. She didn't grow up on your block. Like, none of that, And he's like, no, she loves me. Like, like, bro, I don't care that you're in a fantasy, but I want to see somebody do something active. You know?
Very, very low energy.
Like, film. If you that crazy, go pull up on Harvey Dent while he's not in the courtroom and, try to intimidate him or something. Like, do something where I think that, you're smarter than what you actually are. Like, try to trick me. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, the whole, like,
the whole film, they don't do that, bro.
I know, but like the whole like love interest part of the movie died once she left. Once she left Arkham, for me, it was just like, bro, I don't get what, like, I don't understand your motivation anymore. Because it's like, if we play this thing out, obviously he's going to get sentenced to death. Now what? You can't go with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no plan. There's no logical reason for any of it.
Yes. That's what I'm thinking. People who came out this just saying like, oh, it's horrible because it's a musical. The problem is, even when you strip away the musical, you arrive to that freaking conclusion. Mm-hmm. There is no purpose. There is no plan to any of this, no matter what. Now that we've seen the whole movie.
Yeah.
Because you're kind of sitting there the whole time thinking, okay, maybe somehow this happens. Maybe they escape. Okay, maybe he wins.
Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking during the transport, something was going to happen.
It's just like something needs to pop off. I need someone to do something. Yeah. And the director sat there and said, no.
Yeah. And I just think Joker got caught too soon, bro. He got caught too soon because he really doesn't have any emotion.
But that's why I'm more upset at the director. I think he did it on purpose because you're starting the movie in jail.
Yeah.
So you have to go from jail to some place. Mm-hmm. And he decided we're just going to go to the courtroom scenes, have a little jail talk with Harley, someone that with Lee, someone he likes.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's the movie.
Or I don't know if that's the right term. I think it's the opposite. I don't know. Heartthrob? I don't think that's right.
Oh, with Lee, and then that's the movie. And I'm like, this cannot be the movie. This just cannot be the movie. And unfortunately, it is.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that this is the sequel to the first Joker, it just makes it even worse.
Yeah.
Because I know that this dude is competent enough. And to me, there is some like self-sabotage here. There is some murdering of the original Joker's character in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And to waste 2.5 hours, 2 hours, 15 minutes to tell this story, it just 100% does not need to be told. And then when we triple dip on this thing, not this way.
Mm-hmm. It's like all of Lee's like cameos or like her random little portions of the movie was just all misdirects, bro.
Thinking more is gonna happen.
Yeah, like I was just constantly just waiting. I was just like, dang, it's about to go down. It's about to go down. And by the time it happens, it's too late. It's already
even like, movie. Oh, is she about to do something crazy? No, nothing.
And
then even when so spoiler time. When the court scene blows up for the Joker to escape,
oh, he did it.
Like, had nothing to do with him, had nothing to do with Harley, had nothing to do with someone from Arkham that wanted to help him out. Random follower. Yeah. And then at the very end of the movie, we finally get the person who's kind of quietly been in the corner staring at the Joker, mm-hmm. murders him in the hallway.
Yeah. He didn't even give off main character vibes. Like if they wanted to do a third movie.
Like, bro, what is that ending?
Well, what the conclusion I came up to was the fact that, you know, at this point, everybody saw that he wasn't who he said he was.
Yeah.
So you have to pay for that, you know, because people were looking for something. They was looking to be seen. They was looking to be understood. And,
you know, you didn't step up. We anointed you and you didn't step up to the mantle.
Right.
Or mount.
Right.
You didn't throw out a pitch, bro. You have to at least, you know, do something.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't even care that he like after he went crazy on him, he started cutting his own mouth open to symbolize like, oh, he's gonna be the next Joker and all this other stuff. I'm like, bro, it doesn't even matter anymore. It does not even matter anymore.
And I think the director was going for like no one does care about Arthur Fleck's overall story.
Yeah.
And us as fans who want to go see the movie, we all came across with the same thing. Like, yo, this thing is trash. But that's kind of what the director was pointing at. Like, no one at all cares about what's going on with Arthur. He's in jail. This is happening to him. No one at all cares about how horrible the guards treated him and did stuff they did to him. All anyone cares about is Joker do Joker stuff. And that's like the sad state of society, you know? And then even at the very end, it kind of symbolizes the same thing. Like, I met my clown idol or whatever, and what did I came away disappointed.
Yeah, don't meet your heroes.
Yeah, and then he murders him to death and cuts open his mouth, symbolizing that he's the new Joker.
Yeah.
Like, it to me does show he knew what he was doing. He showed how tragic it was, Arthur's story, and ultimately what Arthur did brought about that Joker anarchy persona into the universe.
Yeah.
And eventually the Joker will arise from Gotham. That is the normal Joker that we know. And it was not what we saw from this movie or the original one.
Yeah. He just had a bad day, man.
And that's how the Joker
was born, reborn, or
like lives or exists, because there was like it's the idea, and that we will get why there's so many different Jokers in the world, why he has so many different origin stories, why some fall in the freaking vat of what was it, Acme acid or something like that.
It's not Acme.
That's what's it called?
That's the Looney Tunes.
Looney Tunes, yeah.
Warner Brothers. It's Ace Chemicals.
Yeah. And why some don't, you know?
Yeah.
It does make sense universe wise why there are these many Jokers always in Gotham, always doing something different, always crazy, kooky. Some are funny, some are just gang bosses. Because it's like they're taking up this mantle of just pure anarchy energy. And unfortunately it arrived. Yeah, and unfortunately the origin story that we're going with, it arrived from Arthur, who could not live up to that.
Yeah. And he never really got the chance to.
Yeah.
It's just, that's just part of it. Like, it's like
But is that the meaning too, though? Like, he did a horrible crime. He got committed. He's a crazy person. And guess what? There is no joy or celebration of these evil beings or villains in a way. They end up dead in the cell. They end up dead in, like, I think that's why
he
when
didn't
I
even
walked
smile
out,
when he died, bro.
But that's why I'm saying I don't think the director's stupid, bro. I don't think he's just a full-on idiot. I think that's why he wants to show being this villain, being this, like, murdering these people and then getting away with it. Like, all these people praise the Joker, but in reality what happens is this dude goes to court, he has his day, everyone cheers him on. Guess what? He gets shanked in the middle of prison, or he rots in prison for all eternity. But society will glamorize this dude.
Yeah.
And but when we watch the movie, it is boring as hell. And it's like, yo, this is a super villain. what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
But it's just very, very boring, and you could do that same message in a way better way. But this is how he wants to show it. He wants to make it look
Nah,
like
this was
y'all don't
definitely
care about it.
purposeful. This was definitely purposeful. I just wanted to say that, like, the reason why, how can I put this? Like, the decisions that they made throughout the film to consistently bring back the idea of, is he Arthur or is he Joker, showed me that, like, the movie isn't necessarily about like what we thought it was going to be, like we've been continuously saying, but it's more so about the idea of, like, anybody could end up being Joker. Like, it doesn't take much, you know. All it takes is for that one snap and you could be just like him. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not like you were saying, like, where there's all these different versions of Joker throughout the multiverse. Like, they're not all the same. They're not all clear cut. So how can we make this one different enough to, you know, essentially be interesting, but also not fall into the same content loop that, you know, has worked over the course of time? Because if you really think about, like, the rest of the Jokers outside of this one, because this one is more like mental and psychology based or whatever, it's always been like a lot more theatrical, you know, like, or like that be a major part of the role, but also it was philosophical, you know. And this Joker lost all that once he got to Arkham.
Well, I feel like he chose not to go that route. You know what I mean? All the Jokers we know have chosen anarchy, and Arthur at the end of this, after that, seeing how he traumatized what's his name when he murdered the person in the room in the first movie.
Yeah.
And he said, like, I saved you, and he's like, no, you traumatized me. Like, you were the only one that was nice to me. And he's realizing, like,
but
you know, I thought.
Well, I was gonna say, even whenever they took him back and he was on a high, and then the guards, like, when he badmouthed the guards,
sexually assaulted him.
Yeah, like, I mean, we gotta call a spade. That's what happened, bro. Like,
okay, because normally they show like a little bit more for you to 100% confirm, but they kind of like,
they didn't show the broomstick.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's all I'll say. So, but that's what happened. We're supposed to just infer that, you know, you know, that's why he is the way that he is. But I just wish if that was the case, that, you know, it would have been more so of a media tour, right? Or like have the people come to the prison more or stuff like that, not just a one and done.
That'd been cooler.
Because even if he never got to speak and it was just like outbursts or whatever, and he got to live that whole persona lifestyle that he was trying to put off, at least then, once he got his time to actually say something, like whether it was like on a talk show or whatever, and he didn't have the makeup on, he didn't have his armor, like, that's kind of how I feel like when he puts all the makeup on, he feels like he becomes the character. They lose that, like, bravado that made everybody that, you know, was following him fall in love with that idea, because before him there was nobody that, you know, really understood what it was like to be at the bottom. Like, everybody understood it, but nobody voiced what it really felt like, you know? And it just came out in different ways. And we have to do all of this heavy lifting ourselves, because the story does not help you come to these conclusions, you know? And I think that, like, because I think the first movie leaves a lot of room for creativity, but all of that room kind of suffocated this movie into just coming out bland. And it's just like crazy, bro.
And it also takes away from the first movie him having that what's real and what's not. Like, now we know who he murdered. We know what was reality in the first movie. So that kind of takes some fun out of watching the first Joker movie and going back and saying, "Oh, maybe this part was real." Maybe.
I mean, it's after seeing it the first time, I feel like it's never gonna be the same after you know. I don't think it would have.
Well, they reveal it in this movie though. Like we know for sure who he did murder, who lived, how many people, because it's in the court cases.
Yeah, but I feel like we saw everybody though in the first movie.
But that's what I'm saying. In the first movie, Arthur was dealing with sometimes he was not in the right reality. Like we didn't know if the scene he was really flirting with the girl or not, or talking with the girl. So when he's murdering people, it also is.
You could say the same thing was happening.
Yeah, was he actually killing this person, or did they live?
Right.
And because of the second movie, we know for sure he did murder all these people. So you can go back to the first movie and just X out what was fake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it messes with the magic of the first one, trying to figure out, is this dude crazy or not, and stuff like that.
Yeah. I just wish like that, like the courtroom scene where he had his whole the whole vision thing, like turned into something after the fact. Because if it wasn't,
at least gave him some inspiration to then do something in that moment.
Real life. Yeah, because like the fact that like if it wasn't a musical and that moment happened similar to like how it happens in the first movie, I think it would hit a lot harder. But because you do the spotlight and then you do the dance and like all the other extra stuff, it's just like, okay, I know this isn't real.
Oh yeah.
Like I know this portion of it isn't
like
real.
He's not going crazy right now.
Yeah, right. Because then the movie would never be just over after that. Like they just shut him down. If you catch my drift. But if it was more of that, like if the fantasies ever led to something, then I think this movie would have ended up being a lot better. Cause like even coming out of the theater, bro, I still was like, I was on a high. I was geeked, bro, cause I ain't been to the movies in a minute, but also just like, I was like, yo, that was fun. Like when I was watching it, I was like, that was cool.
Really?
Oh, yeah, bro.
I was checking the time.
But that's another thing.
I was checking the time. I was like, yo, what's happening?
That's another thing I want to talk about later. It's just like, I think I like bad movies, bro. I think I'm coming to that conclusion. Like, I can recognize a good movie from a bad movie, but like also I think I just have a more like I don't know what the word is, but like I can not see the good in everything, but I have things that I always like. There's always things that I like, and I can recognize that, and it doesn't. Those two things aren't exclusive. You know what I'm saying? Like they blend together, so it ends up like when you hear my score, you're gonna be like, no way. So.
Oh no.
But, yeah, because like knowing my score now and having the conversation that we've had, you would think that it'd probably be a lot lower. But I still stand by what my score is. Just because
it took me a couple days to come to my score. I'll at least say that. I didn't walk out the movie saying, yo, 0. Like I feel like so many people did that. And it kind of bothers me because I do crap on some movies, but I feel like at least those are like there's something where either the acting was that bad or this direction was that bad, or
like I don't think they did. Like I don't think the performance was bad. Like I don't think anything about what they were doing said like this was a bad. I just think it was a bad story and a bad approach to the characters, and that just is the major reason why it's not good. You know what I'm saying?
I feel it.
Like production wise, like it looks as good as any other movie.
It definitely looks good.
It sounds as good as any other movie.
Looks and the score of the movie. I don't like the songs, but the score of the movie is still very, very top notch.
Yeah, like it gives you that.
That's your 2 good nuggets.
Yeah, that's all you get from Chris.
That's all you're getting.
That's funny. But yeah, I don't know if there's anything else I got.
That's it from me. I mean, Folie, I do. I would not go see this.
Wait till
I would
streaming.
not advise. Yeah, I would 100% wait till streaming. and I would probably watch whatever else comes out on streaming that week first, and then go jump to Folie à Deux, and then
especially with
leave the
like all the spooky stuff that's coming out.
I think every single spooky movie is gonna be better than this movie. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, and I do not think this movie is worse than Madam Web. I saw someone say that,
bro. It's polling worse than Mobius or Morbius.
No way. I probably will rewatch Morbius, but Morbius became like a meme around that time too. Yeah. So I'm just like, I'll probably rewatch Morbius, but overall, there's no way someone could tell me Madam Web was better than this movie.
Yeah,
like that's just ridiculous. But hey, everyone's opinion.
Yeah. Okay. So you want to get into
that being said, what's your opinion on it, G? I'm excited.
What's my score? Or what do you mean?
Yeah, what's your score on this?
Okay, so like I was saying earlier, bro, I came out of the gym, I was geeked, bro. So like, after I go see the movie, just a little bit into insight into the process of what it takes to, be AJ Wallace reviews and make review content and stuff like that. So after I watch the movie or watch whatever content, as soon as I'm done, go and do a voice note and just talk, for some odd minutes or whatever. And on that voice recording, bro, I came out the theater thinking that John was an 8 out of 10. I did. And that might seem crazy, but that's what it was. I just was like, that was cool. Like my artsy brain was just like, bro, I like that. I like what I was watching right there. But once I started breaking the movie down, like just talking through it, I was like, damn, this thing really isn't that good. Like, if you really think about it, like, ain't nothing happened, So like, y'all have heard the whole podcast so far. If you made it this far, so y'all can understand where I'm at now. But I came with the conclusion that Joker 2, Folie à Deux, is a 6 out of 10, bro. It's bad, but just because of how good the movie looked, how it sounded, and just the me coming from the perspective that like the performances wasn't bad, but it was just the story and the direction of the approach to the characters, and that's don't got nothing to do against Joaquin Phoenix or Lady Gaga, because I think they did good for what they got. It's just is what it is, bro. That joint is not really good, bro. It's not it. So that's low for
generous, me, bro. That's generous.
That's low for me though. Like that's low for me.
That's
a
generous.
6. Like if it's a 3, I'm walking out. Like, but I never felt like I needed to go. I wasn't checking my watch when I was watching it. You know what I'm saying? So like that's as low. Like, and like I was saying earlier, like the whole notion of like, man, I might just like bad movies, bro, because I don't know what it is when it comes to these scores, because I think I'm consistent. Now you could see a trend in how I rate things. I don't think I'm like too, but it's like I also look at it when I look at other platforms and stuff like that. When you go like to the 5 scale, like 1 to 5 scale, I'm usually still pretty close, So like when I had checked, like after I had already said what my score was gonna be, I had checked what people were saying on like Rotten Tomatoes and stuff like that, and it was like at a 3, 2.8, something like that. Like that tomato was splat. So I was like, okay, like a lot of people are feeling around the same way about it. They know it's not good. Like, so the barometer there was cool, but usually I still end up being on the high side somehow, but that's just me. But yeah, what kind of score did you give it, bro? Is this gonna work or break? Is this gonna break the scale? Like what?
So this one was tough for me because walking out the theater, I felt like without a doubt, there's no way this movie can get higher than a 4. And as I was driving home,
yeah,
I was like, you know what, I'm gonna stick with a 4. I think it's about a 4.
okay.
And over the days, as I kept thinking about it, I kept tic-tacking on the movie, and I kept thinking about it.
Yeah,
And I was like,
once you tack, like there's no going back, bro.
there's really not. And I kept coming up to the point that not only would I never ever watch this movie again, I would not recommend anyone to go see it. Like, I do feel like you are wasting your time at the movie. So then I dropped it down to a 3. And here's where I had an inner battle with today. Because I could not help but scratch the feeling of, it is a musical.
Yeah.
They made the decision to make it a musical. And that choice just does not work with the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like any song, and I just can't help but think every single musical I've ever seen in my life, there's always like a hit song that's like, oh, I'm the Joker, something. I'm like, yo, this kind of banging over here.
You know, like just the mountain on a molehill jump.
No, bro, no. And I just feel like it's so harsh to say it's a 2.
Dang.
So I'm gonna stay at a 3, but because it was a musical, I do think it should be punished even more.
Wow.
Because that decision did not work. It did not help.
Yeah.
And to have Harley Quinn be the main reason for the musical portions, and that didn't contribute to, it makes the movie really, really bad.
Yeah.
And when it comes out on streaming, I hope if someone does see it, you'll see what we've been talking about the whole time. But I can't give it lower than a 3 because I do deep down feel like the director had a purpose. There was too many nods to like trying to counter what the Joker did in the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
And really just trying to punish him in this movie.
Yeah.
And I just think there's more meaning to that. And I probably wouldn't fault the movie that much when I think really bad movies that deserve 2 and 1s are just very stupid. They did not care to think of a concept or a theory or a what's beyond this. And at least I can take away from this is a way of at least saying this is how that Joker energy gets released into Gotham and how another Joker pops up as the Joker. So this might not be the Joker, but Joker is going to end with a 3, and it will go down as probably one of the most disappointing movies I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Because with what you had already...
Sequels.
Movies.
Oh, I said sequels.
Movies.
I said sequel. Okay. That's your statement, though. You want?
Yeah, for sure sequel. I mean, it's right there. But movies, because with what you already had, there's no way you can fumble it this much. And they said, let's throw a musical on top. Like, that's crazy. That's just crazy.
But that's the part that I don't describe.
Because it's a horrible movie without the musical.
I don't think you choose to make something a musical and it not be the first idea. Like, I think that was the first thing. Like, yeah, we need to make this a musical.
Maybe.
You know what I'm saying? Because how you go from telling jokes to singing songs, bro? Like, there was no jokes in this joint for it. Like, he would try to make
no
fun
dry
of people,
jokes.
But like, yeah, he did the laugh a couple times, but like
supposed to be uncontrollable and all that.
Yeah, man. They broke him down, bro. And we didn't even see it happen. We saw it happen one time. But like
Folie, I do.
They made it try to seem like, yo, they're best buds at some point.
Yeah.
You know? And it's just like, yo, I was expecting way more, bro. I was expecting way more.
Sad ending, and
yeah.
It was a good attempt, I guess. You know, it brought me back to the movie theaters. How about that? That's another nugget that's a good part.
Grasping at straws now.
Yep. That's how bad it is. That's how bad it is.
Well, let us know what y'all think in the comment section if you did end up going to see it, man. If you will go to see it. But that's gonna do it for us on the Joker 2. Do you think we get
Folie
a
à
third
deux.
movie?
Yo, that's a crazy joke. That's ridiculous.
I'm just saying, you
No.
know. But yeah, man. What you geeked about, bro?
Ooh, I don't think it's quite this weekend yet. But I'm super geeked about Smile 2.
I just saw the trailer or a trailer for that.
Yeah.
Scary.
The trailer is quite good, exciting, and
Got
looks like it's
grabbed by
gonna
the
be
noggin.
looks like it's gonna be pretty solid follow up. And I'm excited for spooky season, man. I think that there's actually some solid scary movies out there coming out right now.
Mm.
Um, and I don't even know if some of these are considered scary movies, but overall, just solid
Or
movies
horror
around this time. Yeah, kind of like
slasher.
thriller slasher movies coming too.
Yeah.
So overall, it's just a great time to go to the movies,
Mm-hmm.
get back into movies, and maybe Transformer One. I heard I should have went to go see that movie instead of this one. So
Yeah, I've only heard good things
it's
about
movie
that,
time.
but I just can't. I can't get with that animation, bro. I'm being honest. That looks like Netflix streaming animation to me.
It kind of
You
does look
know,
on Netflix
like,
because
but
they do have a Transformers on Netflix.
yeah, but like the cast is great though.
Yeah.
They got some good voices in there. So it's like I've only heard good things about it. I've also heard about like this robot movie where he's like a deer or something.
Animated robot one. I can't wait for
Yeah,
that one.
people was crying at that joint apparently. But it's like for me, Smile is like the only movie that is that horror movie that's actually intriguing to me.
Okay.
And I don't want to see it, but I'm
Oh,
like, yo, I wish I wasn't scared.
it's a
You
little
know?
freaky. The first one in theater, I was like, ugh.
Mm-hmm. It's the
I'm gonna
smile part.
check behind the seat
It's
before
on.
I
It's on HBO. I think the first one.
yeah.
Pretty sure it is.
I had to watch the first scene again just to get myself prepared because it's tough.
Mm.
Good luck, bro.
I don't need no look. I don't need no look. I'm good.
What you geeked about, G?
Let's see, bro. What am I geeked about? Think about that. I guess I'm almost done with Death Note. You know.
What a journey.
At this point, bro, it's like after L, like what am I even watching this? You know, like that's really the conclusion I'm coming with.
Yeah.
Just like I get it, bro. Like I get the move. I get the. I just basically just trying to see how it ends at this point.
Yeah.
But you know, there's a lot of moving parts, but there's a lot still the same thing, and it just doesn't have that, you know, that it once did.
Yeah.
But other than that,
Well, how close are you to finishing it? Like 10 plus episodes?
yeah, I'm like,
Do you have any? Because we probably
any
won't
guess?
get any guess to how it ends. How it will end.
Shot in the dark. Misa is gonna kill Light, and because she gonna get jealous somehow she gonna get her book back. Because at this point she don't got no book right now.
Mm-hmm.
But like, because I could tell you exactly where I'm at. Basically, where I'm at is where near they put Bad Boys Ride or Die on Netflix as we speak. That's not, is that the new one? Or is that the third? That's the old one.
I can't remember what the new one's called. It might be Ride or Die.
Yeah. No, it's For Life, right? No, that was the one.
No,
before.
that was the third one.
Yeah, that was
right?
the third one. Yeah, so this is the new one. I'm at episode 33, right? And basically, Light has to kill Nier, and Nier basically knows that Light is Kira, however you say it.
Kira.
And Kira, yeah. And Light has now a spokesperson, which is old Shorty. That Light got motion, bro.
Yeah, he does.
Like, it's crazy how much motion Light got. That he just had, like, he's a psychopath, bro.
Yeah.
And what else was I gonna say? Oh, so he has a spokesperson and he has a new hand. Right. So now he's rebuilding his infrastructure to where he don't even have to be in the. They can think what, like, he's creating his own AI with people, bro. Essentially, to run his operation, and yeah, his pops got murked off. That was sad, but it's just like, bro, it's right in y'all face, bro. Like, y'all could really end it if y'all wanted to, like, just to be sure.
They gotta do it legally, bro. They gotta have it like hard evidence.
And it just keep coming to the same conclusion. It's like, oh man, we can't prove that he is the guy. He might be the guy. Like, I've been wondering for like years now, bro. And I'm just like, yo, should not be that hard. But it is. And oh, I know what I'm geeked about. 100%. Took me a minute to get there. Blue Lock is back.
Ooh.
First episode.
About to finish up.
It's gonna get mixy. I'm about to rewatch it in English this time. And I'm gonna see if it's better. I've been on a dub wave recently, bro.
I know you be on them dub waves. I do like Death Note and dub. I will admit that.
Yeah, like, it's not that I'm like against sub anymore. It's just like dub has gotten so much better, and it shouldn't be a surprising, but it's just like they just didn't put the money into it before, really. Like, that's really all it was. It was plenty of voice actors. You know what I'm saying? So, but it do hit harder in sub still, for the most part.
It's good to see both.
Yeah, get both perspective. And I'm still catching up on My Hero. But other than that, man, my One Piece journey video got 1,000 views in 4 days. That's going crazy. It's like the first video in a minute that was like, yo, I did it.
Good stuff.
So now I gotta get the pod going like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's pretty much it, man. NBA season's back. Cowboys got another ugly win. Win.
Y'all made it through the night.
You know what I'm saying? Hopefully y'all schedules start getting harder soon.
We got the Ravens this week.
The Jets done fired their coach. Bronny is balling out with LeBron.
I wish that man all the luck in the world. I'm not even trying to be a hater.
Yo, it's so cool, bro. Like, it to me, it's cool. I think it's dope. Like, regardless, like, now that the fact that he's there, it's like, yeah, y'all can't say nothing now. Like, y'all, now all it's gonna be about is just celebrating it. Hopefully, you know, unless he playing like poo poo, then he can be out the league. But yeah, man, that's all I got. You got anything else before we get out of here, bro?
Nah, bro. I'm just glad to be back in the movie theaters, and we're probably gonna end up doing like the Penguin or something before another movie, but hopefully we
talk about the Penguin. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, hopefully we can lay out a roadmap of all the movies we're gonna be able to catch, because there's quite a lot coming up.
Yeah.
So, all good. Let us know what y'all think about the final Joker movie.
They're never gonna do this again.
Yeah. Bring on Batman.
Right. I mean, at least the Penguin seems to be doing good though.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
for sure.
Like, I don't know if they're gonna keep going down the whole one name, one rogue villain type of thing, or if they're gonna just stick to the movies. I don't know. But those are connected. Joker wasn't connected. So yeah, man. But let us know, like Chris said, and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you have not already. The podcast is available, video and audio, on on Spotify, and of course it's on YouTube and all your favorite audio platforms. Man, leave a comment, let us know what you think. And we'll see y'all next week. Stay geeked. Peace.
Later, y'all.